Youngboy dropped a new song, and we finna react to that bit. But before we react to that, I want to react to this one video of why Youngboy would take over the whatever now that he's free. So we're gonna get into that bit, see what it's talking about. Make sure y'all tune into the streams, bro. Let's watch this.
NBA Youngboy has been fighting legal troubles for a very long time now. He's been in and out of jail, on house arrest, and just overall living a very restricted life since we've really come to know him. In March, he was released from prison to a halfway house in Arizona, and on April 26th, he became fully free. He still has a supervised release, but this will be the most freedom that he's had in over 5 years now. This opens up a can of opportunities for NBA Youngboy, and this is what I believe to be the perfect time for him to come back and kind of take over the rap game.
I'm terrified of people. I'm very scared of people.
Keep in mind, this is the same guy. I'm terrified of people, and then, bro, I don't know. That man is.
Oh my kid.
Nigga, we scared of you. We scared of you.
People. And I'm still shy.
You hear me? You watched me since I was a little
But
boy.
I
As
never
my
know why
grandma
once I
raised
walk
me.
on the stage.
You hear me? You
I
know I
just
ain't
get
no hoe.
up and leave.
What up?
I'm
That's all you like to do,
terrified of people.
bitch, is get drunk and talk shit.
People are cruel.
That's gonna get you fucked up, nigga.
It's like we can't control ourselves.
Who did the young people pick as their leader? NBA Youngboy. Ooh, give me gas talking about that little boy.
What's good?
What the fuck? Yo, no, bro. Why have I never seen that? Yo, whoa.
NBA Youngboy. Ooh, give me gas talking about that little boy.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What's good, YouTube? It's Justice. I used to be paid.
Yo, chat, no, bro. That's not normal. That's not. Yo, that's not
Who
normal,
did the young
bro.
people pick as their leader? NBA Youngboy. Ooh, give me gas talking about
Okay.
that little boy.
What's good, YouTube? It's Justice.
Why the
I used to
nigga
be
shit,
paid. Today
though?
I'm back with another video, and in this video, we're gonna be talking about NBA Youngboy and his return to the rap game, and why I think he might be able to dominate. But before I get into that, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those things; it helps me out a ton. Youngboy has had moments of completely taking over the rap game in the past. He is one of the handful of rappers that have a just insane, severely crazy, rabid, die-hard fan base. From 2020 to 2023, he
Chat, y'all seen that clip recently where Youngboy was in a mall and he had them people following him around? Man, that bitch was crowded. The reason I say that is it reminded me of this
severely
clip right here.
crazy, rabid, die-hard
It reminded me of this, but this just happened recently, like a week ago.
fan base. From 2020 to 2023, he was on fire on the internet. One of the hottest names in rap, and people clamored.
Man was
for
dropping an
pretty much
album every
anything that he did.
every month.
During this time, though, he was on house arrest. So that severely held back his ability to capitalize on all this hype that he had built up for himself, mostly in the sense of actually being able to perform or go on tour. During the peak of his popularity around like 2021, 2022, there was no doubt in my mind that Youngboy could have easily went on
Man
a
would have sold
US
out
arena tour and
everything.
pretty much sold out an arena
Facts.
everywhere he went. He just wasn't able to, or he definitely would have been performing at a festival like a Rolling Loud, where I believe he probably would have ended up as a headliner of Rolling performing at a festival like a Rolling Loud, where I believe he probably would have ended
bro.
up as a headliner.
What? Youngboy was already performing at Rolling Loud, bro. Without a doubt, he would have been headlining, bro. That's I don't know. Travis Scott, Playboy Cardi, Future, and then under them, it's niggas like who? Don Toliver, Kodak Black, Yeet, Lil Yachty, Tekka, Denzel Curry, Ken Carson, Bryson Tiller, a little bit. I don't know. He might have been right there in that little baby role. He might have not been headline. I might be wrong. I don't know.
Headliner of Rolling Loud.
I'm
Not
trusting
just
this
somebody
guy,
on the
though.
card, but one of the headliners specifically in that time period from 2020 to 2023. But because of his legal situation, Youngboy hasn't performed in like over 5 years. The most that he could give his fans during this time period was like going on IG Live. In my previous video, I spoke on
Nigga
Rap
barely
being
did
a
that.
bit of a
Nigga see too
nuclear
many people on
winter
here. He got
after
to get
the
off.
Drake and Kendrick beef. The entire landscape has kind of reset, and everything's in a bit of a state of flux, and there's a lot of opportunity for the taking. We saw Playboy Cardi recently upgrade his status in the game and do some wild numbers. Cardi and Youngboy are guys that actually have a lot of similarities, in my opinion. They're both guys with unique sounds and aesthetics. They have an
I've never heard two songs. Okay, hold on, I take that back. Cause YoungBoy had this emo era. Okay, I give him to that. I
Of
give him
like
that.
mysteriousness and coolness, but most importantly, they have diehard fan bases, and we saw the
Facts,
success
both of
that
them. Yeah,
Cardi had, and I believe YoungBoy could do the same, if not even more. The reason that I say YoungBoy might be able to have even more success than Cardi is because he can appeal to a wider audience with his music. YoungBoy can do so many different things musically that he can hit
that
almost
is true.
every like piece of audience there is. Or at the very least, he's not going to immediately alienate people with his sound. He's not going to immediately alienate a certain demographic. Just for example, I was talking to my auntie the other day, and she was telling me a
Bro, that is so true, bro. You try to get your pops, anybody listen to Cardi, bro, they is not fucking with that, bro. There's no way.
certain demographic.
There's no
Just
way.
for example, I was talking to my auntie the other day, and she was telling me that she tried to listen to the new Cardi album, and she said that she got to the first song
Nigga lying. Your auntie did not try to listen to the new Cardi album. I'm sorry, but
and
nigga, you
like she
lying.
couldn't do it. Like she was just like, nope, I can't do this. It immediately scared her away from the rest of the album. Now, funny enough,
Exactly.
that song doesn't really sound like any of the rest of the album in terms of just like pure sound. It kind of sticks out as an outlier, but regardless, Cardi's reputation plus songs like that can alienate big groups of rap fans. And while Youngboy has made and can make songs like that, he just does so many different things that he can pretty much find something for anybody. Anybody that
That
really
is true.
wants to get into Youngboy or is interested at all, if they go and listen, they can find something that they like from Youngboy. If I were to use one word to describe Youngboy's career, it would still be potential.
Versatile.
For everything that he's
What do
done
you
in
say?
his
Potential?
Youngboy's career, it would still be potential. For
True.
everything that he's done in his career over the last
Man's
like
been in this
7
game since
years,
he was a
he's
jit,
still
man.
only 25, and it feels like despite the major things he's accomplished, he's,
He's still
still
only
nowhere
25.
near his ceiling in all he could do. That may sound crazy to say, as he is the youngest artist to hit 100 Hot 100 entries and has 4 #1 albums, among a bunch of other accomplishments, but he's done all of this through years of controversy, legal troubles, beefs, and even blackballing from the industry. Right now, the rap game is a bit vacant in the mainstream. There's a lot of real estate to be had, and the reason that I believe Youngboy can be the one to grab it is because we've seen him be one of the hottest names in rap before, and he's able to create a relationship with the fans that make them go crazy for him. Every famous artist has diehard fans as a part of their fan base, right? Like the ones that buy all the merch, they buy the tickets, they create the fan pages, they like every post, they leave comments. Like we all know that every famous artist has a section of diehard fans as a part of their fan base. Maybe it's like 10 to 30% of the fan base, but most fans are regular / casual fans.
And I ain't gonna lie, if you're just a nigga that does that, support your favorite artist, you buy his tickets to his concerts, whatever, you buy the merchandise, whatever you do, you're a glazer. You're a glazer, nigga. You glaze that nigga, and I don't understand why that is, but you're a farewell certified 100% level glazer. Just for supporting your favorite artist, by the way.
When it comes to Youngboy,
Don't I don't understand that, I'll be honest.
60% of his demographic is diehard fans, especially in real life. It's hard to find a Youngboy fan in real life that you wouldn't want to put in the category of a diehard fan. What's so valuable about having diehard fans in the rap space right now is that you really can't survive without it. I've seen a lot of people talk about the lack of young stars in the rap space. I've seen Rory and Mal mention it, and academics talk about it. There aren't a lot of space. I've seen Rory and Mal I've seen a lot of people talk about the lack of young stars in the rap space. I've seen Rory and Mal mention it, and academics talk about it. There aren't a lot of identifiable young guys.
That is true. When we're talking mainstream, that's true. Underground, it's honestly ran by a lot of kids right now. I wouldn't say kid. Well, I mean, any nigga between the ages of like, really in the underground right now is really ran of like 16 to like 24-year-olds in that range. And I feel like those are still, kids. So, cause nigga, I'm a kid. Nigga, I'm 18. Nigga, I'm a kid.
As
But that's what
next
I
up
feel like
right
it
now.
is.
The middle class of rap.
So
that's
that could be
typically filled with
right,
guys
but that
sell
could be wrong.
50K to 150K.
Just because
first
there
week
is
and
so many
seem to
more
be
underground artists than there are mainstream artists. So I would say that there's no lack of it. I would say they're doing so much of the underground that they won't expand, so there's no building it. Like, we seen younger artists back then, 2018, 2017, 2016, take off in their careers because they were doing what he says, making music anybody can listen to. like what Youngboy does. He has so many songs. Like Cardi is very, he has his fan base, right? And then you listen to people like back in the day, you had dudes like Lil Skies. He was a younger guy. Lil Mosey was younger. Lil Pump was young. Them type of guys. They made songs that like everybody listened to. Like it was a banger like for that time, and that's why I could see why the underground artists aren't going to the next level, because they're finding a good sound for them, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, but they're finding their sound and too scared to go any further with it because they already been thrown into the spotlight at an early stage of their career. You see what I'm saying?
Up next is very slim. However, if you travel back just 5 to 7 years ago, that space was flooded. Lil Baby, Gunna, Lil TJ, Polo G, DaBaby, NBA Youngboy, Pop Smoke, Roddy Ricch, Lil Durk, Juice World, Trippie Redd all filled this space. Nowadays,
Okay, I don't know if he's still talking about. Let me go back. If he's still talking about younger gals, like 50% of them niggas was not young.
just
70%.
5 to 7 years ago, that's guys that sell 50K to 150K first week and seem to be up next is very slim. However, if you travel back just 5 to 7 years ago, that space was flooded. Lil Baby, Gunna, Lil TJ, Polo G, DaBaby, NBA
Most of these
Youngboy,
niggas is
Pop
pushing
Smoke,
30 right
Roddy
now. So
Ricch,
back
Lil
like
Durk,
7 years ago,
Juice World, Trippie Redd
20.
all filled
Okay.
this space. Nowadays, I think having that space of rappers populated is a bit harder due to the expansion of the internet. I know it sounds crazy to talk about 5 to 7 years ago like that, but I believe it's true. The internet has only gotten bigger and bigger, and fans have so many different options of things to listen to. Very rarely can you kind of be forced into listening to an artist. In that era and previous eras, there was no way that if you listened to rap, you could avoid certain artists. If you listened to rap in 2020, there was no avoiding DaBaby or
Facts, bro.
Polo
The
G.
baby was
You
everywhere in
would just
2020.
bump into their music by the proximity of them being rappers that were associated with rappers that you probably listened to. These rappers relied on
Killing
casual fans
TikTok,
who
man.
tuned into what's hot, and as a result, these guys almost shared a collective fan base rather than having a huge diehard fan base dedicated to just them. But right now, the rap landscape has expanded so far that this isn't really the case anymore. Doechii is one of the hottest prospects in rap right now, but it's entirely possible to listen to her and be a fan of hers without ever listening to or even knowing who Ken Carson is. And yes, it's different styles of music, but they're both rising stars in rap with huge followings behind them. And it's possible to be a Ken
That man
Carson
Ken
fan
just had a
without
number
ever
one
listening to
album
or knowing
with
who
more chaos.
Big X the
Guys,
Plug is.
that man
Now,
has
this
come
was
far.
always possible in rap and possible in the past, but in the past, it felt like rap was a bit more conjoined as you got closer and closer to the top of popularity. But now more than ever, it feels like there are specific bubbles of rap, but they're not small bubbles anymore. They're huge, they're massive. They have people that are real stars, people that can actually sell out some arenas around the United States. These bubbles are highly, highly populated. The wave of guys like Yeet, Ken Carson, Destroy Lonely, and the smaller artists beneath them like Annette Spin and Osama Sun, these bubbles.
Now that's where I hold you, because those two are almost the definition of what I see found a great style for them and their fan base, and it's not gonna expand because I don't see that being a mainstream type of sound. The net spin, nah, dude. And if anything of underground artists right now, like the higher end of underground artists, too Hollis, in my opinion, and I think a lot of you guys can agree with that. Have one of the best sounds right now, dude. There's no doubt about it. He's a talented artist,
Are
so I could
huge.
see him
There are
taking that
now
next
ways to
reach
become
to
a big name
the
and have
Ken
equivalent
Carson,
to mainstream
Destroy
success without
Lonely
having to
type
be
of
known by
reaches.
the wider rap audience. In this modern era, it's harder than ever to get casuals to pay attention to you, and that's why we have less bubbling, rising stars than we had in the past. First and foremost, you need a die-hard fan base in order to become a big name. Full stop. That's what Youngboy has in abundance. Youngboy does almost all of his numbers off the muscle of his die-hard fan base. This is why I believe Youngboy can dominate this modern era, because for so long he's just relied on his die-hard fan
Facts.
base.
Most of the
his
people
day ones,
tuning into
because
these
he's
YoungBoy
faced legal
videos
troubles,
are his
he's faced
diehard fans.
blackballing, but
Man would
throughout all
drop
of
a
this,
song.
he's had his fans.
I'll go to school the next day. I mean, 7 o'clock in the morning. These niggas bumping and walking around. Yo, you heard the new YoungBoy? No, I have not yet, dude. Give me time to focus, dog. I need to get through school first, bro.
Every day to keep his numbers up there. He hasn't had to rely on, oh, well, I was on this person's album and this person was hot, so now people are checking me out. He's never really had that. It's not, oh, well, Youngboy signed to this person, so because he signed to that person, some of their fans are checking him out, so now he's a little hotter. He's not had that, oh, well, he got a cosign from this person, so now because of that cosign, no. Youngboy's been going strictly off the muscle of his day ones that stream his music every day, and now everyone else has to play by these
That is
rules.
true.
That's what it looks like right now. It's not enough to be on somebody's album. It's not enough to know somebody. It's not enough to be a face that everyone's seeing. You have to have fans, real fans that consistently listen to your music every day. Fans that are always rocking with you. And a lot of people don't have that. A lot of people have casual fans who tune in when they're hot, and when they're not hot, they're gone. A lot of people have that, especially over the last 5 to 7 years. But Youngboy's been playing by these rules for so long that
Little to no casual fans, no bots. Cosigns don't give you a boost. Mainstream media doesn't support you. Label backing comes to a minimum. Doing features doesn't bring a ton of new
now when
fans.
everyone has to play by these rules, who do you think is going to be the most successful? The guy who's been getting the casual fans, grabbing.
I have noticed that when Youngboy, especially when he was in his house arrest era these past 3 years, I would like to say that like Youngboy was, when he was doing features, there wasn't much with like artists we would really know. Like he was doing small features with artists that were way much smaller than him. I didn't see him do too many features of bigger artists. He had some features with artists on his songs. He had a song with Yee. He had some songs with Nicki, the baby. Probably missing another few there, but like,
or the guy who's always
y'all
had his day
understand.
one
He
fans.
wasn't doing
But
much features.
One issue, though, that could be looked at as a deterrence to Youngboy's success is the lack of quality from some of his recent projects. To that, I will say, he did drop an absurd amount of projects while on house arrest. From 2021 to 2023.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, dude. It was like there was a new Youngboy project every
on
month.
house arrest, or 12 projects. That's an absurd amount of music for anyone, and that will burn out not only the fans, but the artists too. The quality of music will suffer due to so much music being put out. But in my opinion, I believe that this was Youngboy truly just being bored on house arrest. Like, he couldn't do anything but put out music, so that's what he did. Youngboy's always been a guy that has had a very high rate of dropping music compared to his peers, but there's no doubt that his rate massively increased while he was on house arrest, which is a shame because before he started to drop at this insane rate, he was really starting to hit on some of these projects and put together great works. AI Youngboy 2, Still Flexin', Still Steppin', 38 Baby 2, Top, and Sincerely Control were
Top is a
great
wonderful
projects.
album.
These were albums that were markers of progression for Youngboy as an artist. Now, some of the stuff that came out on house arrest was good, don't get me wrong. It's not like the entire catalog he dropped, all 12, 13 projects were bad, but as we got towards the end of that stretch, some of them did start to feel a bit vapid. But now that he's out and able to occupy
It looked like he
himself
started
by
just
maybe
throwing shit out there.
performing or doing an interview circuit, or maybe even just living life outside of being stuck in a house all day, I don't believe we'll see as much activity from Youngboy when it comes to just dropping a boatload of albums. The one aspect of NBA Youngboy's appeal that makes him stand out so much from the rest of his peers is his authenticity. That's what attracts people to him, makes them relate to him, makes them stand beside him so passionately. I know it's cliche to talk about an artist and say, oh, well, they're authentic, especially a rapper, the whole live your raps thing, but it's so much deeper than that with Youngboy. It's not as simple as, oh, well, King Von rapped about killing people and he actually did, so he's authentic, even though I don't think Youngboy, lies about that type of stuff, but he just wears his heart on his sleeve so hard that you can feel it. The way he expresses his emotions, the rawness in not only his lyrics, but his voice is so easily translated to the audience. Everyone wants to be the cool,
very
tough
distinctive
guy.
voice.
Youngboy
You
does
know
that
a
as well,
Youngboy
but not so
voice.
many
You know
artists that make the
a
type of
raw
music
wave
that
voice.
Youngboy
You
does
know their
can
voice.
be so
Very
vulnerable.
distinctive.
A lot of street rappers make pain music, but there's a different level of emotion that Youngboy portrays in a song like Lonely Child compared to the average street rapper. The expression of such strong emotions to where even a kid living in a gated community in Calabasas can not just enjoy the music and the passion, but really put themselves in his shoes and relate to the emotions he's feeling without having to do some sort of like Malibu's Most Wanted stuff. Like, he just makes music that everyone can feel. He makes music that's so raw and filled with emotion that anybody on any part of the planet can put themselves in his shoes and it not be something where it's ridiculous or they're being something that they're not. No matter what happens, Youngboy is going to be himself. Always. And he is a window of a person. for better or for worse. You always know what he's feeling, and that makes him special. That's what attracts people, and that will attract even more people in this open space of rap where people want to grab.
Oh, it most definitely will. It most definitely will. That's a good video right there. Y'all make sure y'all go sub to IU's.
Bro, come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I used to be paid. And go ahead and make that. Go and turn on post. Chat, y'all gotta subscribe to this dude. I promise I'm trying. Chat, I promise I'm trying. There we go.
Google Play Games.
Bro, I don't understand,
That
dude.
now when everyone has to play by these rules, who do you think is going to
You